All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about two of the most powerful and, let's face it, mysterious forces that are literally shaping your reality as we speak: energy and consciousness. This is where cutting-edge science and ancient wisdom really start to say the same thing. It's going to be fascinating.
So let's start with a huge question. What is the fabric of reality, really? I mean, is it just the stuff you can see and touch, or is there something more going on underneath it all? We're going to explore how the connection between energy and consciousness just might be the key to unlocking that very question.
Okay, first up, let's tackle our first big concept: energy. And I'm not just talking about what you learned in high school physics class. We're going to look at it from a few different and, honestly, more complete angles. What's so cool here is how we can look at energy from three totally different viewpoints, and they all kind of fit together. Scientifically, physics tells us that everything, and I mean everything, is just energy vibrating at different speeds. Even your thoughts are real, measurable electrical impulses in your brain. Then you have the metaphysical view. Ancient traditions have always talked about a subtle life force, like prana in yoga or qi in traditional Chinese medicine that flows through all living things. And then there's the psychological way we feel it. You know this one. When you say someone has good energy or walk into a room and it just feels heavy, you're describing a very real experience of energy. And this brings us to this landmark quote from Albert Einstein, which nails it. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Just let that sink in for a moment. The very energy that makes you, you, has always been here and will always be here. It's just constantly changing form.
So, if all this energy is constantly shifting and changing, where does the experience of it all happen? That question leads us straight to our second concept, and honestly one of the biggest mysteries out there: consciousness. A great way to think of it is as the space in which all experience happens.
So, how do we even begin to wrap our heads around consciousness? I mean, it is the million-dollar question. From a neuroscience perspective, it seems to come from all the complex wiring in our brains. But here's the catch. Even the top neuroscientists on the planet will tell you they have no idea how a bunch of electrical signals creates the subjective feeling of, say, seeing the color blue. Philosophically, it's a bit more abstract. It's the awareness of being aware. It's the silent backdrop where all our thoughts and feelings play out. And then spiritual traditions completely flip the script. They say you don't have consciousness, you exist inside of it. It's an infinite field that everything comes from.
This is one of my favorite analogies ever for this. Consciousness is the screen, experiences are the movie. The movie of your life, all the thoughts, emotions, the drama, the joy, it's constantly changing, right? But the screen is that constant, silent awareness in the background that allows the whole movie to even be seen. Without the screen, there's no movie. Okay, now we're getting to the absolute heart of this whole explainer. This is where we connect these two massive ideas. You can think of this as the moment a single wave suddenly realizes it's actually part of the entire ocean.
So this is the big question, right? How in the world are energy and consciousness connected? How does that invisible screen of awareness relate to the vibrant, moving, changing energy of life?
The answer, which is suggested by both ancient mystics and modern physicists, is actually breathtakingly simple. Consciousness shapes energy. And what's wild is that we see clues for this everywhere. Take quantum physics. Some of the most famous experiments show that tiny particles exist as just a wave of pure possibility until someone observes them. The very act of conscious observation makes them snap into a specific, real location. The observer literally affects the reality they are observing. And of course, ancient traditions have been saying this for thousands of years. Your thoughts have power. Your intention directs your reality. And you know this from your own life. When you feel stressed, your body's energy literally tightens. When you feel calm, it expands. It's true what they say, where your attention goes, your energy flows.
This brings us back to that brilliant ocean and wave metaphor, which just explains the relationship so perfectly. Think of consciousness as the vast, deep, unchanging ocean, the source of everything. And energy? Energy is the wave. The wave is a temporary expression of the ocean. It rises, it falls, it has its own little experience for a moment, but it is never ever separate from the ocean. You are the wave, a temporary form, but your true essential nature is the entire ocean. Okay, so this is all pretty mind-bending stuff, but here's the most important part. What does this actually mean for you in your day-to-day life? Let's bring this all down to earth because this is where the real power is. So here are 5 key takeaways you can apply to your life starting right now. Number 1, your inner state shapes your outer reality. High vibration emotions like gratitude and joy literally expand the field of possibilities around you. Number 2, awareness is your superpower. Seriously, just observing a negative thought without getting caught in it is often enough to stop it from controlling your energy. Number 3, intention directs your life. Once you get crystal clear on what you want, your energy naturally starts to align to make it happen. 4, things like meditation are so powerful because they connect you to that still, background consciousness, which is a total game changer for stabilizing your emotional energy. And finally, number 5, remember that your true nature is vast. You are so much more than your body, your thoughts, or the story you tell about yourself.
So if you take away only one thing from our time together today, let it be this: you are not just a person. You are a field of energy moving within a universal field of consciousness. Understanding this, really feeling this, can fundamentally change how you experience every single moment of your life.
And that leaves us with one final, very important question to ask yourself. Now that you know this, now that you know you have this influence, how will you choose to shape your energy today?